Chippewa hockey is on CCHN.
Oh my goodness!
The place to watch men's Division III.
Here's Connor Morgan out in front for Porzundek. He scores!
And women's Division II.
Burnett's gonna get a shot and goal, and she scores!
Every shift, every goal, every game.
Central Michigan has turned the corner.
All in one place. CCHN, your home for Chippewa hockey.
Of these teams have seen a lot of that. For the first time ever, these two non-conference opponents will play each other in Illinois State, visiting the Central Michigan Chippewas. Good evening, everybody, and welcome inside Martin Ice Arena. I'm Devin Sarah, back with my tag team partner, Reagan Cleaves. As these two non-conference opponents get ready to play here today, Reagan, CMU is coming off their first win in 5 games, taking down number 12 Oakland, arguably their biggest win of the season. They did it off the backs of Owen Campbell scoring early and Jace Johnson his first career goal as a Chippewa. A resounding victory and a much-needed bounce-back performance.
Yeah, indeed. It's a game that Central Michigan has needed for quite some time. They came off that tough December playing Florida Gulf Coast and Grand Valley State back-to-back. And that win for them last weekend was the first time since their 5th game of the season that they have scored first and won the game. So that's a big thing, and it's something that Central Michigan at the beginning of the season did really well, and hopefully that win from last weekend gives them back their mojo.
They scored early. They didn't score often, only 2-1, but it was off the back of a bunch of young guys playing well. One of them, Caleb Woolery, saving 42 on 43 shots officially from that one. What a resounding victory. He'll be the goaltender tonight.
Yeah, and he's had a couple of great games throughout this season. Think back early in the season to that game against Notre Dame, about 3 series in. Got that 2-1 win, did he in net for Central Michigan in that game, and then he comes back from from the team's tough game on the road against Oakland last Friday, and he makes a couple of spectacular saves and really was the driving force for that win last Saturday.
Yeah, we talked to him afterwards. He was animated, to say the least. The Sheep Kid is playing very well. Let's take a look at your MCHC standings as of January. Lawrence Tech at number 3 in the nation, still at the top spot. 11 wins through 12 games. They have not lost. 1 tie technically to their name. Record of 17-2, 1-1. Lawrence Tech is resoundingly the best team, and they're coming off a weekend where they swamped the reigning national champions 5-1 Michigan.
Yeah, and this is a Lawrence Tech team that for the last couple of years has been really rising through the ranks of the ACHA. You saw them make the national tournament last year and eventually the semifinal, where they lost to Hope in the semi before Hope went on and lost to Michigan. So this Lawrence Tech team, and we saw them earlier this season, is a very good hockey team. They're coached well by Ken Gaffney, and they've got the keys to success. They just got to hope that comes to them for the national tournament.
They're followed up by CMU's most recent victory, Oakland University at number 12 in the nation. 6 wins, 3 losses, and a tie in conference play. They're 16-6, 2-2 overall. Followed by Saginaw Valley State, who just had a very interesting series with Michigan. Last week lost in overtime. The next night lost 6-3. Saginaw's on the outside looking in. They sit at 4 wins, 1 loss, 1 overtime, and a tie in conference play. And that squad has lost their leading goal scorer in Logan O'Flanagan for the year. So they've got some shake-up there.
Yeah, and that's a massive loss for that Saginaw Valley State team. We saw him score the game-winning goal in overtime against Central Michigan at Saginaw Valley a couple of months ago. And that's a team that really relies on Logan O'Flanagan, but they can also spread the puck really well. They got Garrett Lesser in support of O'Flanagan, who now has to step up along with a couple of other players.
They're followed up by Central Michigan, slotting at the number 4 spot. 4 wins, 3 losses, 2 overtime losses in a tie in conference play. Followed up by Michigan at number 13. Still have some conference games left to play, so we'll see where they shake out heading into tournament time. U of M Flint sits at number 6. Adrian College at 7, rounded out by Northwood in the 8th spot. To take you with some games to look at tonight, we have a big one on the crosstown of Michigan. Hope is hosting Grand Valley State. That's number 5 against number 1. The Hockey House game to watch this week, as Hope College, not the top team for the first time, it seems like forever throughout the year. Grand Valley has sat every week as the number 1 team through the rankings, and this is a real test for both of those teams as we expect them to see each other down into playoff time and further on.
Yeah, and this is a matchup between two teams who don't have to travel very far to face each other, and they've been tops of the ACHA for multiple years running now. So this game, it's start at Griffs West in Holland tonight, move over to Georgetown tomorrow. It'll be a high-octane game. I expect both teams to play very well, and really, if GVSU wants to maintain that top spot in the ACHA, they have to beat Hope. That's been the story for the last 5 years in the ACHAs. You got to beat Hope to be the best, and Grand Valley has to prove that tonight.
No doubt. Some other games to look at for tonight. Saginaw Valley State visits Northwood University just across the road in Midland Civic Center. That game is slated for a 7:45 puck drop, followed up by University of Michigan Flint at the Wolverines, Michigan. So Wolverine against Wolverine there from Arctic Edge Canton at 9 p.m. Also, an out-of-conference game. Arkansas is taking on Missouri State. That's number 10 against 17. Missouri State on the outside in. A big win against Arkansas would help their case for nationals.
Yeah, and both teams have made national tournament appearances before. You know, Arkansas just had a massive game against Missouri. I believe it was against Missouri,
number
where
4
they
Missouri.
where they sold out the Jones Center.
How cool was that, right?
Yeah, they've got a
1,000
massive
people inside that barn. That was nuts.
They got a massive support crowd out there, and they only a couple years ago made it to the national tournament, made it to the national championship, only to lose to Hope. And they're looking to get back and get into that top spot in the ACHA.
Yeah, certainly. Before we take the break, we'll update you on some most recent scores from last week. We talked about Lawrence Tech, number 3, taking down 13th-ranked Michigan. That was on Sunday. Michigan also got the sweep over Saginaw Valley State, 6-3 and 3-2 in overtime, followed up by Arkansas with that split of Missouri, like you mentioned. So there's a couple of top 10 teams in there to look at. Again, go to achahockey.org. Underneath the Men's Division 3 tab, under rankings, to stay up to par with all of the top 25. We're going to step aside and get you ready for the rest of the pregame show with our players to watch. Don't go anywhere. You're listening right here on CCHN. And we're back with the pregame show right here on CCHN. Devin Serra alongside Reagan Cleaves. Reagan, taking a look at the two squads today. Central Michigan 7-10, 2-1 overall, 4-3, 2-1 in conference play. We mentioned the win against Oakland University last weekend. They sit in a good spot with the likes of 4 straight home games, second of 4, this one being. They'll take on Illinois State tomorrow night as well, and then Northwood next week in the 4 straight at home, so that favors them well. They've been better on home ice as of late.
Yeah, they certainly have been better on home ice as of late, getting that win against Oakland last weekend. But before that, they've struggled at home, Devin, and what you got to do as a Central Michigan fan is you got to see that game against Oakland. You got to hope that's a turnaround point. You lost a lot of games coming into this against opponents here at Martin Ice Arena, including that Michigan Flint loss that really kind of stings because you'd beaten them and you've been so good against them for so long. You come in and win against a top 15 team. You got to keep that going here tonight.
Certainly, and last week's win snapped a 5-game losing streak, the longest since the 2018 season. Looking at the Illinois State Redbirds, 6-15-1-0 on the year out of the Mid-American Collegiate Hockey Association Silver North Division, if that's not too much to explain there. 3-4-1 in their conference. They have wins over Northern Illinois, 4 to be exact. Also a win against Northwestern, who's a very formidable opponent out of their matcha, as well as Marion last night with a 4-0 shutout. They're highlighted by that shutout win for netminder Matt DiFilippo, who got a save there on 15 shots. So Illinois State coming into this series with some momentum there.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, their goaltending has been stellar throughout the entirety of this campaign this season. You look at DiFilippo, in his first appearance this season against Mizzou, he had 66 saves on 73 shots in that loss against Missouri, and that not only is impressive in and of itself, but it's kind of been the tone all year for this Illinois State team. Their goaltending has been very, very good for them, and that's kind of what they've had to lean on for their wins, especially coming up against tough opponents.
Certainly, and Daniel Katalinic didn't make things any worse with a goal and an assist in their 4-0 wins, so one to look out for there. In the series history, this is the first time these two teams have ever met inside the regular season. Most notably, Phil Fazio, former Division III Chippewa, has some connections there to head coach Michael Hernbrat in his 10th season for the Redbirds. So that's how this came about. And this team will play again next year as well on Illinois State's ice. So a little bit of starting up history there. Reagan, we're going to take one more break and get to your impact players and keys to the game. Don't go anywhere. You're listening right here on CCHN. Martin Ice Arena pregame for CMU versus Illinois State. Reagan, time to look at your impact players tonight. Who do you have on the CMU side?
Yeah, for CMU, I've got Jace Johnson and Kyle Robertson. Jace got his first goal in that game against Oakland. It turned out to be the game-winning goal, and we've kind of been waiting for that. He's only played 5 games, joined the team on that Florida trip, but it's good to see him get his first goal, and you hope that translates into more success as we go down. That's why we're taking a look at him here tonight. On the other end, Kyle Robertson, the team leads the team in points with 4 4 goals, 9 assists on the campaign. He gets a lot of shots from the point, and what really leads to his success is when CMU can get traffic in front of the net. And that's what they're going to need to do tonight, and that's where Kyle Robertson, he loves to work that point, and he gets some good shots on goal, usually results in a couple of deflections.
Robertson was our 3rd star last week for a couple of assists. He joined the likes of Jace Johnson and Caleb Woolery in that regard. On the Illinois State side, they need goal scoring. Who do you look at for them?
Yeah, for them, I look at Blaze Janik. He leads the team in points, 6 goals, 7 assists, coming off of a year where he also had found some success on the ice, led the team in the same in that same category in points. And then Andrew Capuano, the captain for this Redbird team, leads the team with goals, 7 goals, but the Redbirds really rely on a couple of their top guys to get that scoring down, and that's how they are able to generate some success.
Andrew Capuano is the captain of this team. Most notably, he's a senior. It'll be his last weekend as an Illinois State player before joining the Division II team for their final conference tournament of his career. Also, Matthew Hurtado, some names to watch there on the Illinois side. Finally, your keys to the game presented by OptimX Sports. CMU did a lot of good stuff early in the game last week. We talked about their record a lot early in games. What is that, and what do they have to do to come out on top?
Yeah, so when Central Michigan scores first, they are 6-2-2 with 2 losses and 2 overtime losses. Since their first 5 games, they are 1-2-2. That last win coming last weekend against Oakland. So if they can score early, they can translate that into success, especially with the momentum that garners, getting that first goal and being able to play from ahead. You spent so much of this season playing from behind. It's good to get that first start, and you need to do that tonight. Second, keep up the special team success. You scored a couple times in the power play last weekend, and that penalty kill was good. You allowed Oakland to score 2 power play goals on the weekend, and you picked up your first win on the season when allowing a power play goal. So that was a big thing for Central Michigan to be able to bounce back, even though they allowed that power play goal in Game 2 against Oakland. But they got to maintain that success, and they got a good start to the second semester. Let's keep that going tonight. And finally, this Illinois State team relies on their netminder. They have a very good pairing in their 2 netminders. What you got to do is pepper them. You got to get shots on. CMU hasn't had a ton of games this season where they've put 40-plus up. The Redbirds allow a lot of shots on goal, and you got to make them pay for it.
I like that. Thank you, Reagan. Those are your keys to the game presented by OptimX Sports. The clock reads 20 minutes, but we have roughly 5 minutes before these teams step on the ice, so we will as well. Don't go anywhere. You're about to watch Central Michigan versus Illinois State. The first time ever these 2 teams have played. They know what it's like to be in a cold barn. It's one here. They're getting ready to play. Stay tuned. We'll be right back here on CCHN for Puck Drop.
Time now for your starting netminders for Illinois State. They go with Dion Pavlopoulos, who in 10 games has a record of 3-7, a goals against average of .470, and an .885 save percentage. For Central Michigan, they return to Caleb Woolery, who picked up that big win last weekend against Oakland in that 2-1 victory. He improved his record to 4-4-1 through 10 games, 4.19 goals against average, and an .879 save percentage.
Thank you, Reagan, for the visiting Redbirds. They'll take to their forward groups Keith Rozan out of Naperville, Illinois. Number 23, Aiden Kreibel, along with the likes of their captain, Andrew Capuano. The defensive pairings will be Dylan Obojkovic, along with number 6. Yeah, Hunter Christensen, 16. There you go. Finger works going there. A little delayed here. Where'd my chicken scratch? For CMU, they'll turn to the top group. Andrew Porzonik, Jay Nadu, along with Owen Campbell down the right wing. The defensive pairings, Kyle Robertson and Brandon Clements. And Robertson had a big week last week. Couple of assists, was a major contributor in their upset win over number 12, Oakland. The first ever matchup between CMU and Illinois State is underway. First draw will go to the Redbirds from right to left in their red and black uniforms. Quite a nice logo, the Redbird on the front. Big hit laid out by Clements, that time on Kreibel right near the glass. CMU in their maroon and white unis.
And this is something we've seen from Clements all year. When he's gotten the chance to play, he usually brings that big presence, and that's something Central Michigan is going to need to rely on as we go forward.
First stop of the game for Pavlopoulos out of Oak Brook, Illinois from the Clements shot. He'll retrieve back to his own wing. He'll carry it along the boards. Picked up, touched by Porzonik. Fanned all the way back. Campbell in to chase after it. This one's carried through by Casey Trebsweather. First shift going on for both teams. Illinois State visiting team out of the Mid-American Collegiate Hockey Association, 6-15-1-0. Central Michigan, 7-10-2-1 on the year. Brendan Schultz over the blue line, stays on side, tries to flutter one ahead for Morgan. That one is off the skate blade. Skates wide now to the dangerous paint. Up to the blue paint now for Camaro. Thinks about it. Off the block in front of Santagello. Laid out there as Schultz took a big hit that time once again. And now get to his feet off the boards. Played by Morgan. He'll turn down right wing. One-time blast by Schultz. He missed the left post. Up but not out as Bowerson holds the line. Behind the net, Connor Morgan faked the Michigan. Out of a sharp angle, that try is seen and stopped.
Yeah, Pavlopoulos has had a couple of good saves to start this game, but both teams are really bringing the physicality here to start this game, Devin. And you got to wonder how that's going to affect the play as we go on. It's the physicality is a big part of Central Michigan's game, and we noticed a little bit during the pregame is that Illinois State, a little bit on the smaller end. We'll see how that affects them.
No doubt. That one looked like it went into the rafters for a moment, was skated down by Bottles. Now check to the boards, trying to work it free. He'll wrap it around the trapezoid. Along now for Bowerson. Holds the line. Off a skate blade. One-touch pass down to Isaac Kopp. Back to Bottles. Some nifty move to the slot. And that one sticked away in front. Getting in the lane was Kreibel.
Yeah, the Chippewas are doing a really good job early of cycling this puck, Devin. They're making Illinois State move. And that opportunity got them a high sticking penalty coming up here against Central Michigan.
The men out there were Bowerson, Hop, and Camara was working the lane. They're going to give this one to Bowerson. So first penalty kill coming up for the Chippewas of the night. They did a decent job last week, only allowed one power play goal. It was the first time this year that they've won a game allowing a power play goal. They've allowed one in 6 straight this year, but 3 for 4 last time out. So Bowerson to the box. Illinois State will start out with their top unit. Draw comes free to the blue paint. Now it's kicked out by Porzondek. Turned over. Jay Nadu in on a break to the net. Roofed it over high. I'm not sure if Pavlopoulos got a piece of that, Reagan, but it certainly went over the rafters.
He did get a piece of that, Devin, and that's a big chance for Central Michigan. They haven't had a ton of shorthanded opportunities this season, and they've yet to score one on the penalty kill. They get a chance there, but Pavlopoulos makes a good save as he has most of the year for these Redbirds.
Nadeau has had, from his standards, a little bit of a down year. 3 goals, 4 assists. Good enough for 7 points. He's been a great penalty killer overall. That's been his role. That time on a breakout chance, the first of this one. 1:27 to go in the first power play of the night for a high-sticking penalty on Kyle Bowerson. Here's the assistant captain for the Redbirds. Obojkovic over the line. They get it to the deep area. Shouldered by Hutton away. This time turned wide for the first time tonight by Woolery. It's still loose at the right post. Now it's kicked away by Messina. And working that near corner. Up against Christensen. Worked the puck free. Thought about getting to the half wall. Now he'll kick it out to the slot. Off the skate of Nadeau. He'll backhand this up but not out.
This has been a really good penalty kill. CMU getting bodies to the puck quickly, and it really doesn't allow Illinois State many opportunities.
And Morgan will dump this one away. Both teams will change. 41 seconds reads on the clock. Devin Sarah, Reagan Cleves, rink side for you. Last out-of-conference game of the year for CMU. They'll take on Northwood and Michigan to finish the regular season, followed up by their conference tournament. Hosted at the Midland Civic Arena in Midland, Michigan. So behind the net, taken by Mario Garcia out of Elmwood Park, Illinois. He'll spring it up. His own board for Blaze Janicki, the leading scorer for the Redbirds. Cross-ice feed connects. They'll stay onside. 5 seconds left till Bowerson's out of the box. Check to the boards by Robertson. Now they'll turn it around in front. It's loose and a whistle is called. And the Redbirds are not happy as slamming a stick to the ice was Ian Gannon. Had a golden opportunity in front and they laid one out.
And frankly, they've got the right to be upset. That puck was loose in the right pad of Woolery. Referee in the corner lost sight of it and blew the whistle. Chippewas catch a break. They'll have a draw now on their own end with 15:42 to go.
Big one. CME goes 1 for 1 on the penalty kill tonight. They'll wrap it up the far side, backhanded by Armentrout. Underneath, 2-on-1 develops. Here's Julian Johnson. Stops on a dime, thinks about the shot, and the sprawling body of Garcia kept that away from the net. Now this one from the near post, skirts wide. Hutton tries to whack at it to keep it on, and it's kicked up into the air.
Hutton doing a nice job keeping the line, but also if he doesn't get his stick in the way of that pass there, Illinois State's the other way. They've got numbers, they got a quick forward group, and so a good play by Hutton, the freshman, to negate that chance.
It's been fun to watch Lucas Hutton's development the last couple of weeks, Reagan. We've said his name notably in the killing scenarios. He hasn't gotten involved in the offense too much, but you see week by week the former captain of Novi High School getting more involved with the play. He'll time one up from the point, and Pavlopoulos had to be ready with the left pad.
Yeah, good reaction save that was tipped right out in the left circle. They had to flare that pad out, keep it out.
Langbine tries to find some room to work it up the wall. He'll get it up to moving in. At the far wall, carried out by Rozan. Tries to work it along the half wall. He's interrupted first by Johnson. Up to Saraki. Beamish hard on the pressure who caused that turnover. Works in and winds up. Sailed it over the left post. And up left wing.
Yeah, some good work here by the third and fourth liners of this Chippewa team, getting some good scoring chances.
Kreibel tried to work it over. It's loose on that back door. Hop was too far behind it. Shot came initially from Beamish, and now they're out.
It's a couple of great chances there for Connor Beamish. Really aggressive on the forecheck if the Chippewas been early on in this hockey. And through the first 5 minutes, they've done a really good job putting pressure on Illinois State.
So Hop will carry it back into the zone. Backhanded from a tough angle. This one skirts out, kick to the slot. Trying to gain possession of that is Michael Prazak. And he pays the price for that one from Robertson. Into the air by Clements. Chase back. Some teams going back and forth with this, trying to find their groove. In front of the CMU bench now, Robertson takes the stick away from Catalinich. It works a breakout up right wing for Nathan Bottles. Thinks about it, cuts inside of the backhand and turned it wide.
He lets for the shot there from the sharp angle. He had Robertson out in front. If he passes it, maybe Robertson has a better look.
Yeah, maybe so. And Bottles tried that same exact move last week and nearly had a beautiful goal. Toe drag swag style.
And he's really had bit of a down year, but in the past couple of games, he's really relied more on the leadership portion of his game, and he's really, especially with a lot of younger guys coming into the lineup more as we go throughout this season, he's really proved himself as a leader.
Janicki trying to find it under his skates, pressured by Campbell. Pursued by Porzonic. They'll tag up with it now. Campbell goes wide. He'll rim this off the corner boards. Intended for Porzonic. He gains control. One touch by Camara. Cross ice. Thinks about it. Cuts back door. Nadu was ready for the one touch in, and he barely fanned on that.
Yeah.
Had a wide open net.
Campbell's pass had just a little bit too much mustard on it. Nadu couldn't keep his stick firm on the other side of the crease. You can't tap it home.
Gustafsson wraps it around. Intended that pass for Gustafsson to Christensen. And they missed. Reverses field now from a tough angle. And that time, Janicki nearly had the tip. Woolery was in position, but it just skirted in front of his blue paint. Now it cuts inside. Bowerson is there. Settle things down. He'll work it up the wall. Carried by the speedster, Jace Johnson. Last week had his first goal. Looking for another to the net. Where is it? And it's off the right pad of Pavlopoulos.
Pavlopoulos did a really good job there, Devin, to seal off that right post, not allow Johnson to get it by him on the short side. And it's another good chance for Jace Johnson, who's really blossomed in his 5 games with Central Michigan.
He's played 6 games so far this year. We mentioned he was snake bit a lot in the broadcast last week. Was so close many times against Florida Gulf Coast, Grand Valley State, and just could not get that one. This one's gloved down by Woolery to stop play. And a lot of Chippewa fans come into this year expecting him to be that perennial goal scorer. It's been our story. It's been our mojo. But overall, in a week where the young guys really stepped up, like Woolery with the great efforts, and Robertson being a presence defensively, and Hutton, I mean, he is leading the pack of this new wave of Chippewa hockey.
Yeah, and it's really been a bit of a turnaround for the Central Michigan team in terms of age. The last couple of seasons, they've been relying on those guys that have been here for quite some time, 5-6 years, especially with that COVID year in there, allowing for that extra eligibility. And then you get into this new age of Central Michigan hockey where you got to start relying on the young guys that the coaches are bringing in.
Yeah, many years. I recall as many as last year graduating 9 guys, the likes of.
And not only have a lot of your guys been older, but
Charlie Hayes.
They've really
Yeah.
been the core of your team, not only in terms of leadership, but also in terms of scoring ability.
Byron Rydshut comes to mind. That time, Beamish was ready for a one touch.
That's
Siraki, and he got intercepted.
That's some great hustle by Andrew Siraki. Comes back, strips Razin of the puck as he's coming back. That's some great hustle there from Siraki.
Sometimes I was thinking of like the likes of Keelan Baker, former captain. Obviously, Brendan Martin on the bench for CMU in his 2nd season. Isaac Hopp stays on side, thinks about that one, and Pavlopoulos easily gloves that one down into the protector.
In the first 11 minutes of this hockey game, it's been really back and forth. Neither team really has been allowed to, at this point, establish any sort of zone possession. It's been one rush the other way, and then another rush to the back, much like 3-on-3 overtime, but with 2 extra skaters on either side.
Yeah, and you got to think Illinois State coming off a good win against Marion, 4-0, led by head coach Michael Hernbrot in his 10th season with the Illinois State program. We got a stoppage of play here, Reagan.
And these two teams, as you mentioned, Hernbrot's 10th season, these two teams very much similar histories. Both teams started in 2013, and they haven't played each other at all up until this point. And I think really the first 10 minutes has been sort of a feeling out, because CMU, and I know CMU does, but Illinois State also doesn't tend to play a lot of teams that they haven't before. It's a lot of the same opponents year after year where you know really what you're going to get. But first 10 minutes of this hockey game, it's been back and forth, both teams trying to feel each other out.
Yeah, and it's also a time for assistant coach Kirk Adler to get some development. They do run a 3-tier system at Illinois State, the Division I team, the premier team, top 20 in the nation. I think they're 20th last I heard, or 15th, somewhere around there. D2 is also pretty competitive in their regional format, and then Division 3 is sort of that third team where a lot of the strength and development for the Division 2 and Division 1 squad comes, so you get a lot of younger players that kind of have to get the feeling out process, as Woolery had that one for a moment. It dropped below his legs, and he went down to the butterfly to scoop it.
That took a couple of deflections. Woolery had no clue where that was. Luckily for him, it was in his pads. But going back to that, usually when you see teams that, or see schools that have 3 programs, you usually see the Division 3 team a little bit left out. They're usually the development team. So you see, like, especially in the MCHC, you see Davenport, you see Adrian, two D3 teams that have both an M2 and an M1 above them, and they kind of get left out. But Illinois State does a really good job of maintaining the strength of their program throughout, and they produce some quality hockey.
So 8:33 to go in this first period. We are still scoreless. Both teams have had their looks. Illinois State, the most recent benefactory, trying to get that one to the slot for Janicki, and it was missed, intended by Gannon. Now the Chippewas come the other way. Drop pass from Porzonik to Campbell. They misconnected. Turned it over. Fluttering through the paint area. Porzonik to the backhand. Score! That was a dandy. Puck bounced around a few times. Porzonik went to the paint one-on-one and backhanded it over the shoulder of Pavlopoulos. 1-0.
And it's been this top line for CMU, Devin, that's really generated the most amount of chances. We saw Jay Nadeau unable to tap home a backdoor pass a couple minutes ago, and here Andrew Porzonik is able to finish the pass with the deke. This forecheck by CMU creates that turnover in the offensive end. They're able to generate the chance, and Porzonik finishes for only his 5th of the year.
Only his 5th of the year. You know, Porzonik led this team with 40 points last year. He's had his down moments in the year, which, let's be honest, we've talked about it a lot here. A lot of one-sided big deficits, big losses, likes of Lawrence Tech, Grand Valley State, Florida Gulf Coast. But if nothing else, he has been their relentless effort leader. And every time he touches the puck, you get an assumption he's going to do something good with it, something productive. It's offside as Schultz was caught for it.
Yeah, and Porzonik has been a leader on this team for so many seasons, playing just over 100 regular season games in his career. And he's a guy that's used to scoring a lot of goals, but this year he's taken a step back, but he's also really been a great leader. And when he gets the chances, he still has that old flame that you see right there with that beautiful goal.
No doubt, and he can still sell it like he ever has. So 1-0 is the score. Campbell will get the assist. And along the boards, they'll keep the pressure on. Robertson, one touches it. And how about Lucas Hutton? Freshman. That's his 3rd of the year. Assist.
And we talk about that young group getting the points for CMU. And Hutton's just another one of those young guys that has been doing a really good job as this goes for Icing in Central Michigan of being of getting involved in the play with these older guys.
A lot of older guys still on this team to do. You know, the Division II guys, I think especially the likes of Schultz, Josh Gilgren transferred from Purdue Northwest. Had a tough go of it as of last week. A lot of guys were banged up. A couple of scratches on CMU side that are notable. Braden Kill, Will Rapoon. Guys, we not sure when we're going to see them again exactly, but put their bodies on the line to get that victory over number 12 Oakland.
Yeah, and injuries, and it's going to be, you're going to experience some wear and tear down the stretch, and it really shows the depth of the Central Michigan team. You've got 8-10 scratches on the lineup card today, Devin, where in years past you wouldn't have had that, and it becomes so much more of an asset as you go down, where you're able to rely on the guys that don't get a lot of playing time, but they're there to fill in.
Andrew Miller, the sophomore, will carry it over center. He's met up, one touched by Matt Hurtado, the senior, in his final weekend series with the Division III Illinois State team. One touched by their captain, Capuano. Both teams will change. This one flutters in, and a lot of start and stop to this game. You and I talked about the feeling out. Even though CMU is 1-0 on the board, you still have both these teams just quick whistle, quick change. You hope that kind of changes soon.
Yeah, you do hope that at some point you can get some team can get momentum, and for Central Michigan, you're certainly hoping you can gather some momentum off of that opening tally. But what you got to do is, honestly, you got to go with it. You're going to get a little bit tired as we go on with how back and forth it's been, but you got to rely on your depth in your lineup, and hopefully at some point this can become a little bit more of a free-flowing game.
That recent save by Wooler. He sprung a 2-on-1. Here's Isaac Hop to the door. What a stop! Pavlopoulos denies Hop, and he's back at the forecheck along the net.
Hop doesn't elevate that puck. It's actually a fairly easy save for Pavlopoulos. He doesn't have to do much other than slide over, which does involve some athleticism, but Hop can't elevate that puck, and he puts it right into the pad. It's a tough break for that Central Michigan freshman.
Boy, Hop looking for his first as a Chippewa. 8 games, only 1 assist, and this one's put on the net and whistled quickly now. So we'll get some more on-ice changes. Back out will come the top line for CMU. Nadu, Campbell, and Porzonik with Messina and Hutton. That's a new defensive pairing this year. Hutton and Messina, veteran defenseman, captain of Division II CMU for a long time, but the former captain of Novi. Hutton, they'll have to retreat. Good pressured in by Max Schwartz. In front of their own bench, over the red line, carried by Messina. He gets interrupted by Christensen. Wants the spring one up for Gustafson. Too far for him. Hutton will button hook this. Missed the intended man, Messina. Back into the arms of a streaking Schwartz. Played now by Campbell. Up the right wing. Sidesteps one man. Goes to his knees. Cutting off the angle was Christensen. He falls to the half wall. Left the puck there for Obojkovic. And he'll carry it out.
That's a good play by the Illinois State defenseman, Christensen. He's able to use his reach, get to that puck before Owen Campbell can, who was held up at the line. It's a continuation of stout defending from this Illinois State squad.
Hutton got touched up by Gustafson. Wants to carry it up the boards. Obojkovic intercepted that one. Now Messina falls to his knees, and wanting a call there jokingly is Blaze Janicki, who says, I got hooked. None coming, however. Morgan evades traffic.
To kind of go off that, Devin, this game, referees have let these guys play. Now, there hasn't been a ton on either side, but I really think that's what's kind of helped this game be a little bit more back and forth. Neither team has had a power play other than Illinois State early on. They weren't able to do anything with it.
Schwartz intercepted that chance, looks for one from the right circle, and it missed wide. Blocked in front by Clements. Up the wall now. Carried out by Schultz and Morgan on a 2-on-1 break. Here's Schultz to the net, and a great diving play is made by Mario Garcia to get across.
Yeah, Garcia dove out to knock that puck away, and there really wasn't much chance.
Morgan in the slot area. Pavlopoulos found the blocker. It's carried up and out off along the wall. That time by Schwartz. CMU will make wholesale changes. 3 minutes to go in this first period. CMU up 1-0 on Andrew Porzonik's 5th goal of the season. Kyle Robertson gets pressured in his own end. Turn the puck over. They try to get it to the slot. It's taken away by Clements. Clements springs one along for Siraki. Too strong for him, and they're going to call the premature whistle. Yep.
It's icing.
Siraki's going to argue it anyway, though.
He'll say he won the race to the dot.
Out of Northville, Michigan. And Siraki playing in today his 12th game of the season. We haven't seen Siraki as much as we would rather have hoped. I remember last year we had a fond series to watch him get a hat trick against Adrian College. And since then, he's been on and off productive.
Yeah, almost the entirety of this season, he's been hit or miss in the lineup for Central Michigan. So it's good to see him get some action, and he's really showing how much effort he's putting in throughout the season.
And he got bigger too.
Yeah.
He has been in the weight room.
He did
all off season and in this year.
It shows, Devin, and like even though he's only played 11 games this season, he's still, every time he plays, he puts that effort in, and it shows on the ice.
You can see his conviction. That time he took Gannon down to his knees behind the net. So Gannon tries to reclaim his confidence and carries over center. Some nifty moves. He'll turn wide with it from a sharp angle, and Woolery caught that one into the netting.
Yeah, it's a sharp angle shot there from Gannon on the right side. Woolery is able to get out and challenge, make himself big. He's not the tallest netminder, but he uses advantage of geometry, gets out from the side of the net, and is able to shoulder that up and out of play on a quick shot from the Redbird forward.
Draw to the right circle for Nathan Bottles. He wins that one back to his man Bowerson, who springs it along the far near boards. Down onto the ice is Bowerson. Looks like a delayed penalty coming up.
And pass.
Oh.
On Central Michigan, actually.
Well, minor infraction, we'll call it then. So we'll redo this draw, this time from the left circle.
And if you're wondering, it's an NCAA-specific rule or an ACHA rule. In the NHL, you can commit a hand pass in the defensive end, but in the ACHA, you cannot.
And the trapezoid in front there, looking to get it to Sandangelo. Forward with 2 goals on the year. Forward NAPHL product with the Chicago Bruins, looking to get on the board. Still scoreless in this game is Illinois State. Camara tries to work over 3 Redbirds out of his own end. He will, all the way down the ice. No icing. Christensen takes a check from Bottles. Porzonik waits to get onside. He will now. In comes Isaac Hopp. Rather, that's Messina. Taken away by Christensen. 1 minute to go in the first period. Messina works over Christensen, who falls to one knee. Obojkovic coming in, and oh boy, that big right shoulder by Jay Nadeau just over his own blue line. Here he comes in with speed. Forwards one up ahead for Messina. Touched it for a moment. Porzonik can't hold the line, so it's Camara to retreat. To the neutral zone now. Sticked away by Santangelo. And it'll get back to Woolery's blade. 20 to go. One last rush chance for CMU in this period. Hutton up the near wall. Lifts into the air. Taken away by Schwartz. Puts it in front to nobody in particular. Now Messina will button hook. Play some keep away for the final 4 seconds. And that will do it for this period. So CMU's Andrew Porzonik with some nice work to get in front of the net. Puts it on the board, assisted by Campbell and Hutton for his second assist of the season. I will have the intermission report for you to recap that first period, get you some out-of-town scoreboards updated. Don't go anywhere. First intermission coming up next on CCHN. back for the first intermission report presented by CMHIceHockey.com, your one-stop shop for highlights, exclusive interviews, and full game broadcasts of men's Division III and women's D2 hockey. Be sure to go to YouTube and search up this channel, CB Club Hockey Network, to find us. Make sure to subscribe, turn on bell notifications. We'll be live every weekend for the final 3 weeks of the regular season for the men's D3 team and women's D2 as they get ready for conference play. Meanwhile, some other games going on to update you all. Men's Division II takes on Northern Michigan tomorrow from Northern Michigan. That's going to be a 2-game weekend series there. Then they'll travel back to Mount Pleasant. John Gervasi has the call there. Women's Division II back on home ice against the Ohio State University. Ohio State number 5 in their region. CMU was most recently ranked number 2 out of there. So just one spot behind Sioux College. A big weekend coming up. Both those teams need these wins to get the Nationals. It is a Hockey House game of the week, game to watch. Make sure to be right here on 7 p.m. with Michael Rosenkrantz and Derek Steele on the call. Let's update you on some out-of-town scoreboards. Grand Valley State is tied with Hope College after one period from Griff's Ice House. Number 5 Hope College hosting number 1 Grand Valley State. And puck drop just commenced for Saginaw Valley and Northwood University. So be sure to stay updated with Saginaw Valley social medias from Midlake Civic Center. Also in action tonight is Arkansas against Missouri State. Number 10 Arkansas at Missouri State 17. And U of M Flint visiting number 13 Michigan for a 9 p.m. puck drop. Some Chippewa scoreboard updates. CMU men's basketball takes on Western Michigan from Kalamazoo tomorrow, slated for 7 p.m., followed by women's basketball right here at home inside McGurk Arena. Both games are 7 p.m. and streaming on ESPN+. So for this game right now, CMU with a 1-0 advantage over Illinois State. The only goal, Andrew Porzonik, his 5th of the season, did a good job springing a 2-on-1 off of a Caleb Woolery save and tagged up with Owen Campbell to get on the board, get to the blue paint. Good job roofing it backhand style over the goaltender Pavlopoulos. Lucas Hutton also gets some tally in that one, so he gets his 2nd assist as a Chippewa. Shots are 15-10 in favor of the home team. And heading into this second period, neither side can really gain much possession time. It's a lot of back and forth, start and stop play. It's been physical, however. Jay Nadeau rocked one of his men at his own blue paint, followed by Kyle Bowerson, who's been heavily involved in this game. So expect some more sparks to fly as we get ready for the second period. And 1-0 is the score. CMU leads over Illinois State. We're going to step away and get ready for second period back in about 3 minutes. Don't go anywhere. You're watching CMU and ISU on CCHN. 1-0 is the score. Central clings to a narrow lead over the visiting Illinois State Redbirds. First contest between these two teams ever. Devin Serra with Reagan Cleaves. Reagan, some of your fast thoughts about that first period. Caleb Woolery so far perfect on 10 shots.
Yeah, both teams, this was a very back and forth game. Both teams brought a lot of high energy to this game, some good physicality from both sides, but CMU they really only got two quality chances in that first period. One of them was a Jay Nadeau missed tap-in on the back door, and the second was the goal by Andrew Porzanic. Especially toward the latter end, you saw Illinois State kind of take over more of the zone possession. They got a few quality looks, but really nothing more than some zone possession. So both teams really haven't been able to establish themselves in the offensive zone yet. It's really been CMU has been able to capitalize on those limited opportunities.
And the only penalty of this game was on Kyle Bowerson for a high stick. CMU is 1 for 1 on the penalty kill tonight. From center ice, the dig and Nadeau up against Hurtado. And we are underway for second period action. Left to right, here come the Redbirds over the line. It's Rozan with a shot on net. And that one got tipped wide of the left post. Taken away by Owen Campbell, who springs out his own rush the other way. He's got a long saucer up ahead for Porzanic, who somehow gets it to the paint, and it's whacked out once by Campbell, skirted wide. Played up by Hurtado along the wall. This one sent it on net. Pavlopoulos didn't have it for a moment. Apologize for that sound delay. Had one of our on-ice mics go down there. As you heard, sorry for that delay. Robertson takes a shot from the point. Campbell to turn it around behind the net. This one's played by Gustafson, and there's going to be a call coming up as that is clutching his shoulder, Owen Campbell. Campbell stingily will get back to the bench now. He took a hard check along the right post. And we apologize for that sound burst there, but we got it under control now. Not without whatever mic that was suffering the price.
Yeah, with Owen Campbell to the bench in some pain, it's a tough loss for CMU. Their leading scorer right now. He's had some good moments in this second semester, but he gets a tough hit there. Hopefully he's able to come back.
Bowerson winds up. That one got blocked in front by the shoulder of Christerson. Up ahead. Chase Johnson trying to toe drag his way to the slot area, and he got checked hard on the play. Taken out by Janicki. Skirts to the near corner. One-on-one. Rozan presses a man deep into the ice. That's Bowerson down. Now he'll spring it back to Morgan. Once again, we apologize for that sound burst as well. 18:20 to go in the second period. We begin. The only goal scored by Andrew Porzanic to the slot area. Morgan winded up for one, and that caught a piece of a body in front into the rafters. So both teams will get time to change. A shot from Morgan springed along. A lot of start and stop to this game. We talked a lot in the first period about neither side really getting in an up-tempo play. So far, the home team, CMU, has had more of the chances. Outshot Illinois State 15-10 for the first 20 minutes. Lucas Hutton over the line. Springed along here by Michael Prazak. He'll rim it around the boards. Garcia first the touch to it, to the slot. Trying to backhand it wide is Daniel Katalinich. Hutton regains possession, however. Hop to spring one out ahead. He's got a breakaway for Connor Beamish. In on goal! He scores! Beamish! What a breakout attempt. Hop with the great lead pass up ahead to spring the breakout along. 2-0 CMU. We apologize for that sound burst as well, but Connor Beamish gets on the board. He's got his second goal of the season in 19 games. Assisted by the freshman Isaac Hop. Great job breaking it out there. 2-0 the score reads in favor of that home team. What a job it was to spring ahead. Near breakout attempt by Illinois State the other way. Broke that one out. And 2-0 CMU leads. This one played back in the Illinois State zone by Andrew Siraki. Has help there along the wall. Pressing to the boards is Johnson. Sprung out by Hutton, who plays one ahead. It's Gustafson coming in hard to the net. And a double team play by Messina and Hutton, the defensive pairings, to take that play away.
Yeah, it's a really good job by that defensive pairing to work that puck away from the forecheck.
So Julian Johnson now wants to spring one ahead for Armentrout, gets pinned up against the boards. Turned around by Langbine. Another tip in front, it's loose! Oh my, nearly putting home was Chris Armentrout. And Bevlopoulos got the miraculous left pad stop on it. Hutton, the button hook out of his own end. He'll stop behind the net. Pressured by Janicki. Slides this one, then two. This kid can fly. Hutton over the red line. Trying to just dump it in. It was settled down by Langbine. At the top of the left circle now. Owen Campbell to the paint area. Back for Porzonic. One-timer by Clements. And it's wide of Pavlopoulos. And out of play.
That's some great work by Central Michigan in the offensive end here to keep the play moving. And how about Lucas Hutton? 2 assists on this game, assisting on both the goals. Isaac Hopp getting the primary assist on that Beamish goal. So the young guys really getting involved in this contest.
Up the near glass, Langbine trying to evade pressure. Central has turned on the heat now. They are springing 1-2, a couple of shots on Pavlopoulos as the defense is breaking down for Illinois State. Jay Nadeau into the slots and off the stick of, that time, Hurtado.
Yeah, it's a good stick by Hurtado. It's a wide open lane for Jay Nadeau if he's able to get that shot clear. But Hurtado is able to disrupt it.
Shorts trying to argue a case for like a near high stick. It's taken out of the play, picks his stick back up. It's dumped in deep by Carter Goulias. Goulias chasing after it. Long saucer dump by Clements, and it's going to come back for an icing. I'm not sure why Clements thought there was an argument there against it, but he looks not happy about the icing call. Brendan Martin, head coach in his second season, along with Tyler Koth, Charlie Hayes. Illinois State's head coaches, Michael Hernbrot, Kirk Adler, been instrumental in the development of this Illinois State team. Only 6 wins on the year. Central, only 7 to their name. 2 somewhat evenly matched teams inside their conference. Now here's Robertson from the left circle and turned it wide. Cuts free to the wall. Chased in after by Brennan Mitchell. And there's an icing this way.
That was really close, Devin. Bowerson in a race for it. They're with Brennan Mitchell. And it looked like Mitchell won that race. If not, it was a tie, but the referees ruled it was an icing. Bowerson winning that race. Just over 5 minutes gone in the second period.
Right circle draw for Morgan. Got it back quickly for Jace Johnson. Poke checked by Engelbretson. Schultz behind the goal. And at the line by Bowerson. Trying to work one to Jace Johnson. Stayed hot pursuit with it, but they'll retreat anyway. Central controlling the pace of the play. Camara up ahead. Stretch pass intended for Schultz, who wasn't ready for it. Backed up by Obojkovic. Teams trying their fair share of saucers. That one intended for Mitchell, and that one was intercepted. Taken away by Morgan. Cut off on the angle by Aiden Kreibel, and Bowerson will go D-to-D with Camara. Blew a tire on that one. Allowed the Redbirds to pressure. Kreibel trying to work it down low. From nifty pursuit by Capuano, their captain.
Yeah, this is really the first time, Devin, we've seen Illinois State in the offensive end being able to pressure Central Michigan.
Garcia winds up. It's loose in front. Woolery down to his knees, and that one skirts wide. Now behind the net, Capuano trying to find some work to get it up to the point. He will now. D-to-D for Garcia, who attempted that initial shot. Tries another one from a tough angle. hit his own man in front, and it springs a Chippewa breakout. Jace Johnson stays on side with Schultz. He'll cut it alone, give his team time to change. Schultz calls for it. Now he'll cut it inside for Morgan, and that one just off a skate blade too far. Johnson gets it back, toe drags, poke check by Garcia, and he's up and out of the zone.
Yeah, some great effort by the freshman there, Johnson, being able to keep the puck away from about 4 different Redbird defensemen, and he's able to get off. He doesn't get a shot off, but he's able to apply some pressure for Central Michigan.
Bottles springed along the boards for a sprawling Beamish. Tries to regain his footing. He does. Hop up the glass now. Gets it ahead for Hutton with speed. Hutton stays on side with Bottles from a sharp angle. Pavlopoulos, easy save. Wanted to think about gloving it, and his own man got in front. Katalinic clear it away. Up the near wall. Contested for it. Katalinic springs their own kind of breakout. One touches it up to Prazak. Wasn't ready for it. Meanwhile, chasing in is Santangelo. Wraps it around the goal now. Pressured by Beamish. He'll flutter this one. Deep to Pavlopoulos. Glove up in the air, and Gannon wins the race.
12:10 to go here in period 2. This broadcast, today's game is a copyrighted presentation of the CMU Club Hockey Network, the ACHA, and Moore Hall Television. No reproduction, retransmission, or other distributions of the descriptions or accounts of this game may take place without the express written consent of the ACHA, CCHN, or MHTV.
This is only one of 4 games left in Illinois State's schedule, Reagan. CMU, the second to last weekend series for them. They'll take on Drake University, close out their regular season. They have played a lot of good opponents. Missouri, Missouri State, Arkansas, who they hung deep with. And I talked to Michael Hernbrot before this game about some of those opponents he mentioned, and he said this team was able to keep up with the likes of Arkansas, only losing 3-0. They even said their game against Purdue, who's ranked currently in the top 25, they were also competitive, but what they lack with this team is just the finishing ability.
Yeah, it's kind of what CMU has got trouble with. It's
exactly what we talked about, some similarities.
Yeah, these teams are actually both quite similar to each other. They've struggled. They've got similar records. Iowa State's played a couple more games and lost a couple more, but these two teams have played a fairly even game through the first half of this hockey game, and it's fun to watch.
Yeah, Illinois State's been pressuring hard. They've done a good job at creating hectic traffic in front. Woolery's still perfect. Has not allowed a goal since the midway of the second period last week. And dare I say that, because watch. Somehow Illinois State finds one in the blue paint. And they're trying to do that right now. Janicki out of the air. Played down by Schwartz. Can't keep it out. Andrew Siraki springs ahead. It's checked to his own bench by Obojkovic. First to it is Christensen for Illinois State. They'll carry a breakout up ahead. Engelbretson over left wing. Turned wide by Clements. Backhands this one. Forwarded as Campbell moves out of traffic. Campbell all alone. Tries to come in. He's finally poke checked by the last man, Christensen.
He had Julian Johnson with them. But it was just some good pressure by Illinois State. He wasn't able to get to the puck, or wasn't able to get a shot off.
Robertson's able to funnel it behind for Johnson. To the paint. Clements thinks about it. And a great block in front by Engelbretson negates that scoring chance. Campbell up ahead. He's chased by that same man. Race to the puck. Engelbretson touches it first. Now Campbell will regain possession. Solo pass up to Nadu. Not sure what he was intending there as Christensen cut off the angle. Porzanic just dumps it in deep. Kreibel gets to it. And one touch ahead under the legs of Obojkovic. Wasn't ready for that one. A lot of not so clean passes for both sides. Bowerson now. Backhands out of his own blue line. Springed ahead by Campbell. Looks to get it forward for a shot. Rings it over the iron. A second try, and Pavlopoulos got a piece of that one. Near wall chance for Bowerson. And this one sprung for Robertson. And he had Jace Johnson right ahead of him. 2 tries there where Campbell takes it alone. Doesn't score.
I like the play there by Caleb Woolery to get that puck out. He realized that his defensemen were both beat. He had the time and space to go get that puck, and he clears clears it out to help his defenseman.
Stretch pass, Bowerson gets into Jace Johnson. 2-on-1 with Schultz. Jace Johnson to the net. Pavlopoulos with the right pad negated that.
And Johnson had Schultz out in front, but a good job by the Redbird defenseman to negate that pass attempt and to block off that passing lane that forces Johnson to go short side.
Camara winds up. Pavlopoulos stopped that. Springboard. Rozan. Onside gives his team time to change. Along that wall. It's played out by Schultz. Rozan to the slot area. Garcia can't find it. Now he will. Turn around shots. Woolery stopped that. It's loose at his side of the crease. Down on his feet is Bowerson. One touch. Taken to the net by Capuano when it's turned wide. Rozan gets one back. Takes a hit. Check from Camara. Sidesteps Morgan. Illinois State with some pressure here. Woolery's got it as it fluttered behind his left skate. And now the whistle comes.
Yeah, Central Michigan controlled the play to start this second period, and Illinois State now is starting to return that pressure. They do a good job of cycling this puck. They're hustling to get to those pucks first, and CMU is really having to rely on their netminder here.
Yeah, and Woolery made 3 confident saves as Garcia, Rozan, and Capuano all tried their effort to get it past the young netminder out of Grand Rapids. 5'10", 175 pounds. 9 games this year, 3.91 save percent, .884. Remember earlier this year, he had some tough goals against the best teams in the nation, all part of his development. It's been a rock so far, up at the point. Trevsweather thought about it, elected a turn heel for Garcia, tip in front, they score! Out of the air, was batted by Santangelo in front, and Illinois State is on the board. They cut the deficit to 1.
That's a tough play for Caleb Woolery. He thinks he has it in that catching glove, but it ends up bouncing off the top of the glove, fluttering up into the air. It stays out of the net for a moment, but the Redbirds are able to get a stick on it, tap it home, and at 12:26 of this second period, we've got ourselves a hockey game, folks.
That is Sam Santangelo's 3rd goal of the season out of Elk Grove Village, Illinois. The forward is a product of the Chicago Bruins 2 years ago. Had 6 goals, 4 assists, and 10 points for the 1600 team. And despite this Illinois State scoring struggles, that's another wacky bounce in front, tipped out of the air, and the first man to it is a Redbird.
Yeah, but right now, if you're Central Michigan, yeah, it's a tough goal to have scored on you. But what you got to do is you got to batten down the hatches and play some solid hockey throughout. Redbirds are the other way, but oh, they're offside.
Yeah, too much for Schwartz there. Some conversations being had in front.
An extra shot after the whistle. Chris Armentrout takes exception against Janicki.
Janicki, that leading scorer, is fired up now. 6 goals, 7 assists on the year. Freshman played for the Monroe High School Cheesemakers. Had a really successful high school career. Averaged over a point, nearly a point and a half per game. 44 goals, 73 points. Had 9 goals last year. Leads the way, or rather he's a sophomore, excuse me. And one of the things his head coach, Michael Hernbrot, said to me was he has that fire, he has that skill ability. It's about getting them in structure. So assists on the goal by Santangelo go to Garcia. I'm not sure they gave the second one to. Reagan, did you hear that?
Yeah, it was.
We got some extracurriculars in front with Porzanik and Gannon. Gannon takes some exception. And it looks like they're going to skate them off, and Gannon is going to the penalty box here,
Gannon
along with Miller. Coincidentals there. Only the second penalty of this game. For some roughage in front, nonetheless. And right now, this is a critical juncture of this game. The Redbirds really struggled to maintain possession of the puck this entire game. in the last 3 minutes, they've been putting so much pressure on CMU. And now you're in a situation where you come back down the other way. You've had your own scoring chances, and you haven't been able to put it in the back iron. Open ice to work with it.
4-on-4.
Owen Campbell from the left circle winds up. It's blocked off the skate of Capuano. Robertson turns wide with it up the near wall. Gets it back to Campbell, who's pressured by Rozan. Sidesteps him. Now a second man will turn wide with it. Teammates calling for it. Campbell takes it alone onto the net. Can't get the shot off, and Pavlopoulos will stop that. And shoving him out of the way is Capuano, the captain, protecting his netminder.
Yeah, so we get official word on that goal by Illinois State. It was Santangelo, and then Garcia and Trebsweather on the assists.
Okay. So you're right, Trebsweather.
So it was Garcia that let that shot go. And if you're Caleb, that's when you're going to be kicking yourself when you go to sleep tonight. It's a tough goal to let up, but the important thing is you've still got the lead, and you're playing a good game outside of that one mishap. So keep it going, keep your head up, and keep playing a good game.
And there hasn't been a lot of penalties, as much start and stop as we've talked about. Owen Campbell tries the toe drag, and he gets worked over. Garcia springs it up ahead for Catalinich. Tries to take a shot, and it's off the skate of Nadu, who blocked it in front.
It's a great block by Nadu, reading the rush correctly. And he's able to get a foot on that, actually, and knock it up and out of play.
12 will come to the left circle, 1:09 to go in the coincidental penalties, 5:52 in the second period. Redbirds win the draw. Garcia from the right circle, and Woolery doesn't allow a second chance. And Schultz has taken exception, as did Woolery, to the streaking man in. That was Santangelo, most recent goal scorer.
Santangelo looking for another opportunistic rebound. Crashes the net hard on Woolery. Woolery gives him a little bit of a stick shot. And Schultz comes to his aid, and now what do we have here?
Officials have been letting them play. But there's a conversation going to be had in front of the PA stand.
There's going to be a penalty assist here. Don't know what for.
We're going to wait to hear our word on this. It's Sam
I
Zabelson
think
down
it's
on the
against
ice
CMU.
shouting.
But did they give the penalty to Caleb Woolery?
Oh, man.
And now Brennan Schultz is going to go too. Oh, my goodness.
They're putting Chris Armichow in the box. No, they're going to keep on. Are they going to send Schultz? There's a lot of confusion on that CMU bench. You saw after the play, Woolery took exception to the extra effort by Santangelo. Schultz came to his defense, and the officials skated back to the CMU bench.
The only reason they're sending Schultz off is it's a 4-on-3. So no penalty was called on him. But I believe Woolery, number 35's up on the board. Woolery gets the unsportsmanlike conduct. It'll be 4-on-3 for a minute and 3.
A rare goalie penalty puts the Redbirds to the man advantage. 4-on-3, we go. They win the draw. Garcia tags up with his man, Trebsweather. Played it off his own bench boards. Back to Garcia. Looks for room to shoot. He will. Blocked in front by Camaro. So we're going to have 40 seconds of 4-on-3. And then we go to a Redbird power play at 5-on-4. Santangelo winds up, and that's into the blocker of Woolery.
And Santangelo is the one that started all of that just 30 seconds ago, so he likes to dust it up, and he gets in the grill of Woolery there.
Yeah, it's been a physical game.
Yeah.
Is this the byproduct of what you were talking about in that first period when things get physical?
I mean, yeah, I think it certainly is a byproduct of things getting physical, but also it's one goalie gets run on one end of the ice, you're going to have some dust-ups on the other end of the ice because each team is going to want to protect their goalie.
So it's Hurtado trying to streak into the neutral zone, taken away by the opposite 27 Bottles, who continues to pressure him. Great job on this kill. 7 seconds left until it'll be Miller and Gannon out of the box. Shorthanded, the Chippewas come. Clements takes the check, gets back to the puck, and flips it in front of the blue paint. Robertson, first to it. In back of the goal. Bottles tries to center it in front. Santangelo took the angle away. And what a great penalty kill by Nathan Bottles, who last week, Reagan, first time in his Chippewa career, he's been a healthy scratch in Game 1 against Oakland. And he came back with authority in Game 2. Didn't get on the score sheet, but you could tell his presence was out there. It was felt.
Yeah, and he shows some great forechecking there to kill some time in the penalty kill, but there's still some more ticks on the clock remaining.
The Bottles left that game early last week. So he wants we use the word bounce back, but he wants redemption of his own. 9 seconds left in the Redbirds. Second power play of the night. Here's Gannon over the right wing. Sharp angle try. That one's easily seen by Woolery.
It's another opportunity for Illinois State that comes from a sharp angle there. They work to the outside, force Woolery to get a little bit uncomfortable, get outside of that goalpost, so he's not really relying on it as much. And that's something as a goaltender that sometimes can screw you up, is facing those sharp angle shots, getting out to challenge them. You got to be able to play the difference between overcommitting to the wraparound, but also making that save.
Penalty is over. Porzanic spring one along, and Pavlopoulos cut off the center feed for Camaro.
That's a heads-up play by the netminder there.
You don't see a lot of goalies do that.
And usually when they do, it's with the stick, but Pavlopoulos realizing that there was a Chippewa coming down on the back door, didn't know if he was guarded or unguarded by a Redbird defenseman. Was able to reach out that glove and snag it.
Native of Oak Brook, Illinois. It's been a steady presence for a struggling Illinois State team. 6 wins on the year. 4 of them against Northern Illinois, 1 against Northwestern, and most recently Marion in a 4-0 win. Chippewas trying to answer back. Porzanic out of the right corner, pursued by Kreibel. And a gang of players back up to the puck. Nadeau in there to help out, along with Capuano. And a scrum up those far boards. The fans get into it. Here we go. Some shoving by Nadeau and Porzanic. And Capuano's taking a lot of exception to those two. Those are the vocal guys for Central.
It was Kreibel who was the main antagonist with Porzanic. They got tangled up going into the corner boards, and they're both actually going to go off.
No surprise about that one. Second coincidental in as many minutes. Off goes Porzanic and Kreibel.
And there may be
a conversation will be had penalty? Once again. And this
there's going to be an additional penalty on CMU here. And I think it might be on head coach Brennan Martin.
They're putting Andrew Miller in the box. A bench minor would be the terminology for that. And I just think they're confused. I mean, face on Brennan Martin reads it all. So we have a extra look. You can see him in the left corner of your screen there. And now he'll turn away. And that's a little bit frustrating. This officiating crew, 3-man tonight. This is one of the regular crews we see. And Martin, not too kind to the words exchanged by either side. But they'll put Miller in the box.
And the tough thing is that bench minor penalty is going to end up putting Illinois State back on the power play here. Their 3rd power play of the night. CMU's been able to kill the 2 previous, but they haven't made it easy on CMU.
Those are 2 rare penalties. I don't think I've ever seen a bench minor and an unsportsmanlike on a goalie called within the 5 minutes of each other.
And they're rare enough penalties, but I'm more surprised at the goalie one, to be honest.
It gives Illinois State their 3rd power play chance of the night. They're 0 for 2, and Connor Morgan says, get that thing out of here. We'll spring it down the ice. 2:57 to go in the second period. Devin Serra, Reagan Cleese ringside with you. First ever meeting between CMU and the Redbirds. So it's Obojkovic trying to find some room for Rozan. Capuano taken away by Clements. Morgan with a nifty shot on Pavlopoulos to settle things down. Kill off time and force a draw. So here the penalty being assessed by our very own Michael Rosenkrantz doing the PA. Great job tonight. You can listen to him and Derek Steele tomorrow. And there's the bench minor call on CMU. Brendan Schultz, great play at the line and work over Gannon. He'll spring onto the net, takes it, and they never got the shot off as Gannon trailed him the whole way and poke check at the last moment.
Yeah, it stinks for CMU, but Gannon, a really good job to make up for his mistake at the defensive blue line. He goes the other way and is able to track down Schultz and not let him get the shot off.
Sticked out of the air by Schwartz. And a one-time blast by Robertson. Pavlopoulos out of his net to get this bouncing puck down. Schwartz bypasses Robertson. One-on-one against Clements. Takes the shot on net. Ginger piece of Woolery. Can't hold possession of it. And a whistle.
And I think Schwartz is going to go here for a slash. And Robertson's going to go for a rough. Well, he's going to send both of them off. So the constant parade at the penalty box here. Robertson off for a rough. And a slash against Schwartz here.
3 coincidentals in the last 10 minutes. Officials are trying to take control of this game, which has gotten chippy. There's been some words exchanged after whistles. Sticks and stones may break my bones, and you know the rest. 1:38 to go in this second period. Putting numbers. Miller still in the box. 30 seconds left on the Illinois State power play. Because they send off 2 men here, this presumably will put it back to 4-on-3 for the next 30. 2-1 is the score. Goals for CMU from Porzanik, his 5th of the year. Followed up by Connor Beamish on a breakaway attempt. Finished on Pavlopoulos. Was answered 5 minutes later by ISU's Sam Santangelo with his 3rd of the year. And penalties are assessed. 3 men in the box for CMU and 2 for the Redbirds. So here's Camaro. Got the faceoff draw up but not out. Ian Gannon holds the line. Works it down low to Keith Rozon. Trying to step Gannon, and that one is into the rafters.
Some good job by the Chippewa defense to get in the passing, to get in the shooting lane, deflect that puck up and out away. We're 5-on-4. The scoreboard in-house says it's supposed to be 5-on-3, but the Robertson penalty is a coincidence.
We are 5-on-4. Rozon out of the left wing. Tries to put it on net. Woolery, confident. Stoppage. Did not let that second chance at all come.
Yeah, Woolery's made some good saves throughout the contest this evening. That's just the most recent example of him, and he's kept his team in it, preserving the lead on multiple occasions.
Redbirds win the last 2 draws. They can't get the 3rd. Clements. Saucers out of the air. Garcia to quarterback this one. Along with Gannon. Can the Redbirds spring one more attack? Out of the box is Miller. We are back to 5-on-5. 0 for 3 are the Redbirds. Chippewas without a power play in this game. Connor Beamish ahead for Hop, who wins the race to that puck. He'll get to it first. Take the hit from 2 players. That one, Rozon. 45 now left in the period. Gannon will take this puck away. Sprung ahead as Messina tried to block that. Garcia gets to it first. Woolery out of his net to stick it, and 2 players crash behind him. That's Capuano and Clements, and Capuano looks to be a little roughed up.
And now Clements is going to be sent off, and he's arguing his case as he goes to the box, but it's going to be a 4th penalty and an unsportsmanlike tacked on. Oh, goodness. This is getting out of hand.
Officials are regaining their grasp of this one, and Messina is really trying to get an explanation for it.
The initial penalty is probably going to be a hold or something of the sort, as Clements went into the net with his man, and then as he was going to the box, he ended up getting a misconduct, which is going to be 10 minutes. Probably for what he said
Well,
as he was heading off.
Just got word from our comment section. Chris C. He got sprayed with a water bottle. Is that right? The referee did? Huh. Somebody got sprayed with a water bottle. Talking about Woolery, huh? Okay. Oh. So, the bench minor was a different deal. But I guess you can't do that. So, Clements to the box. And some extra time. Fourth power play for the Redbirds. To the slot. Brendan Schultz. Marin, a one-on-one against Trebsweather. Heads up play by Messina. Never lets that shot get to Woolery. 5 seconds left on the board. One more attack from the Redbirds. Sidestep by Woolery. Sharp angle shot doesn't go, and that's where things will end. So a plethora of infractions by both sides. Illinois State with a number of power play chances. They don't score on any of them yet, but they answer from Sam Santangelo for his third. 2-1 is the score after 40 minutes. Reagan Cleves will recap all of that wacky, wild second period for you and get you some out-of-town scoreboards while we're at it. You're listening to CMU in Illinois State on CCHN.
are back here inside Martin Ice Arena right in Cleves for the second intermission report. Happy to have you along. Central Michigan holding on to a 2-1 lead after 40 minutes of play. Andrew Porzonik getting things going back in that first period. But let's recap the second period for you here. Things started off pretty early. Connor Beamish on a breakaway tally from Isaac Hopp, and Lucas Hutton getting his second of the campaign to put his team up 2-0. That was a nifty goal from Connor Beamish, as we mentioned, his second of the campaign, but credit to Lucas Hutton getting his second assist of the game. He helped on the Porzonik goal and then got the helper on the Connor Beamish tally to put CMU in that 2-0 lead, but it was short-lived. About 10 minutes later, it was the Redbirds, a shot from the right circle by Garcia popped up and over the top of the net, off of Caleb Woolery's glove. It went up and over him. It landed in the crease, and from the blue paint, the Redbirds were able to get to it first and knock it home. Stanton Jello getting his first of the game. That would make it a 2-1 tally. That's where things would stand until the rest of the period had concluded. But a lot of penalties in that second period. Things started off at the 13-17 mark. Miller and Gannon both whistled off for unsportsmanlike conduct. Caleb Woolery at 14-14 getting the unsportsmanlike conduct as well. That put the Redbirds on the power play. CMU was able to kill it off. Then at the 16:52 mark, Andrew Porzonik went off for a holding. Central Michigan was going to go 4-on-4 with Kryby going to the box as well for a cross-check, but an extra bench minor penalty put Central Michigan short-handed. They would also kill off that penalty. At 18:28, Kyle Robertson went off for a rough with Schwartz for a slash. Those would be coincidentals, but just less than a minute later, Brendan Clements hauled down his man in the slot as they were going in on a 2-on-1. He took his man down. That caused a holding penalty to be called on Clements, and it ended up as he was going to the penalty box. He also got a 10-minute misconduct, so lots and lots of penalties in that second period. Shots on goal, 14-11 CMU in that period, so they continue their shot lead, 29 to 21. The shots on goal lead by CMU after 40 minutes, but a penalty-heavy second period. We'll see how the referees continue to call this one. They called it a little bit tight in that second period after a relatively free-flowing and a loose first period, so things heating up on the ice, but the referees calling a lot more penalties as things went on in this one. So CMU trying to hold on to a 2-1 lead as we enter this third period. Taking a look at our out-of-town scoreboards, the Grand Rapids Griffins at home tonight against the Belleville Senators. They're scoreless after 2 periods of play. Now it's 1-0 actually. Just got the update. Grand Rapids getting that first goal. They lead Belleville. You can listen to that game. Bob Kaiser and Larry Figursky have the call for you on that one. Wood Radio 1300, 106.9 FM. You can also watch it on AHL TV. The Spirit are at Kitchener against Kitchener tomorrow. Shocks and saves the promotion. Dylan Clark has the call for you on 100.5 WSGW out of Saginaw. Should be a fun one. The Spirit, again, are going to be in the Memorial Cup. A chance to bring the Memorial Cup back to the U.S. for the first time in quite some time. They're the host city, so if you like hockey and you're interested in the Memorial Cup, it's a very fun contest and a very fun tournament. It will be held in Saginaw this year toward the tail end of the season. Red Wings in action against Vegas tomorrow night at 8. Ken Cowell will have the call for you on 97.1 The Ticket, and it'll be Ken Daniels on TV on Bally Sports Detroit. That's it for our second intermission report. 2-1 Central Michigan leads after 40. We'll be back with the final 20 here on CCHN.
inside. We apologize for that. Inside Martin Ice Arena, final 20 minutes about to get underway. CMU clinging to a 1-goal lead, 2-1. Goals from Andrew Porzandik at 11:49 of the first, followed up by Connor Beamish in that second period. Answered by ISU's Sam Santangelo, which is where we sit 2-1 in the final frame. ISU came with an emphasis the final 4 minutes, a ton of penalties on CMU side. They rejoined the period with 1:10 on the board to number 51, Brandon Clements. If you don't hear any on-ice audio, we are dealing with technical difficulties down there. So we will do our best to give you our vantage point up here behind glass. So it's ISU from right to left in the red and black uniforms, Ian Gannon. Against him, it's Sam Camara in the maroon, white, and gold for Central, looking for 2 straight wins. They ended their 5-game losing streak against Oakland University last week, number 12 in the nation. Meanwhile, Illinois State, in the second to last weekend of their season, will take on Drake University next week to finish play before the tournament, and they actually will not be playing in the conference tournament this year in the Mid-American Collegiate Hockey Association. They lost a game to Northwestern earlier this year, which basically in the Macho, only the top bracket of teams make the conference tournament, and so they were the first team out to making it, currently third in the Macho Silver North Division. So they will not be joining the conference tournament, and it's the final weekend series for seniors Andrew Capuano along with Matthew Hurtado for Illinois State. As you hear some of our on-ice footage, rather audio coming back to us. 9 seconds to go in the Illinois State power play. Brandon Clements will get out of the box here momentarily. Over 4 goes the Redbirds on the man advantage. Great job, Sam Chamasinski, working hard down there to get us back on the air. Lucas Hutton takes a whack at this one. It's up into the rafters up against Andrew Kreibel for a stoppage of play. Both teams will change. And the tough thing is for both these teams, losing records on the year under 500, but CB has a chance to get back to that next 2 weekends. They have 4 straight home games, this being the second of 4 against Illinois State for 2 home games, and then Northwood next week before they head to Midland Civic Arena. Nathan Bottles and Isaac Hops bring a 3-on-2 as Robertson tried to line up for the one-timer, and he fanned on it.
It was actually a great back check by Carter Gulias. Coming back, he's able to lift the stick of Robertson, and it ends up negating a chance for Central Michigan.
So it's Matthew Hurtado trying to turn this puck around heel. Out of harm's way is Pavlopoulos will slow things down. The Redbirds need all the help they can get right now. CMU under the attack. Robertson winds up, and Bottles couldn't get the tip. Saved by Pavlopoulos. Up the far wall. Played out by Mitchell. Robertson tries again. He sails it over the top iron. And Camara holds the line. Great job doing that. Backhanded to Hop. To the slot. Soft backhander. Missed the net wide. Mitchell gets to it. Helped out by Jeremy Langbine. Robertson, it's a clap bomb city, and Pavlison once again with the left pad. And then Pavlopoulos. 3 times Robertson tried the one-timer there, Reagan, and he's having a firing range and can't execute.
I mean, Pavlopoulos has been solid all night, making a couple of solid saves, especially on those one-timers that you mentioned, Devin. This has been the key to Illinois State's success all season is that when they win, their goaltenders play well, and when they lose, their goaltenders play well.
Kyle Robertson hip checks his man Katalinich. Springs the breakout from Messina, who gains the line and dumps it in. Time to change. Siraki in after it against Oblikovic. Messina, soft one-timer. Pavlopoulos saw that the whole way. Got it back to Bowerson. One touches it for Messina. Gloved out of the air by Oblikovic. Intercepted. Messina has help with Armentrout. Under duress with Prazak. And he'll get it out of the zone. Up with speed, left wing. Katalinich onto the net. Flutters under the stick of Woolery. fanned by Armentrout, and they'll change once again, but not without an icing. So it'll come back to CME zone. 16:05 to play in the third.
That's the tough part about that, Devin. Central Michigan won't be able to change their lines here off that icing. So you're going to have some tired bodies out. Just under 4 minutes gone in this third period. CMU has played a lot of this in their own end. Wolverines had to be told, despite only facing 21 shots through the first 2 periods.
Yeah, and Illinois State had 11 that second period. One of those springing a goal for Santangelo. Central trying to answer back. Porzonic, nifty move. Got poke-checked by Garcia. Centered it for Johnson, who wasn't home. Illinois State with a 3-on-2 breakout. Trying to dump it in is Janicki. Taken away by Hutton on the angle. They'll spring along the near wall. Gustafson, turnaround shot. Blocked by Campbell. Up and out. Schwartz regains it. Up right wing. Tries to take it on net. He's closed off by 2 Chippewas. That's Robertson and Porzondik. Played behind the net. Nifty move to evade traffic. Up the glass. Too high for Trebsweather. And into the pads of Palopoulos.
The good thing for CMU is that went on net. They're able to get a line change, and they force ISU to start from their own end. And this will actually go for an icing against Illinois State.
And they can't change as well. Garcia was thinking about it, and that's a tough, tired group on that side. They had a lot of springs up and down the ice. And for both these teams, I mean, how would you said the word fatigue a lot. How would you guess it for both sides? Who's got the advantage?
I think Central Michigan and Illinois State are kind of built similarly. I don't think either team has an advantage right now. I think certainly CMU has the advantage of, has the moral victory being up 2-1 right now, which certainly does give a little bit pep to your step trying to hold the line.
Look at that effort play by their leading scorer, Blaze Janicki, all alone. Gave his team time to change. Unselfish play right there. Turned over by Robertson. He'll go off for a change. Along the near boards, Gannon backhands it out. Bowerson one-touched it to his D-man partner, Camara. Up the glass. Under the blade of Gannon. Moved along by Capuano. In front of the PA stand. The memo of this game. Lots of back and forth. Not too many shots on these netminders unless you're a Chippewa fan. Here's Gannon with a try, and that one clinked iron for a moment, but it was the stanchion glass, so it's out. 14:10 to go in the third period. And for CMU, final non-conference game of the year. A big win last week against Oakland University. Really much needed for a team that has been beaten and battered, kicked around these last 5 games, 6 games. They suffered some injuries the last week. Sort of a shortened lineup. They still have a number of guys they scratched. Beamish now to the front of the net. They never got the shot away. Allows Hurtado in his final game as a D3. Final weekend as a D3 Redbird. Out of the zone. Isaac Hopp springs along a charge. A sidestep Gannon, turns wide with it. Tried to center it up for Bottles. Too strong for him. Kept in by Camara. Played behind the boards. Intentional for Hopp. His pass sidearmed. Camara will drive it ahead. Gannon now takes a 2-on-1 check. Beamish to floater in front of the glass. Looking for any room to work. He can't do it. Gannon is up and out. Andrew Kreibel. He's got down the middle with a shot attempt. That turned wide to the right post. And Rozan with him. Camara pushes him off the puck. And now they'll tie up with it. Far half wall. 12:53 to go in this hockey game. Central clinging to a 2-1 lead. Hop to take away that passing lane in front of Engelbretson. Bojkovic. Forward and ahead for Mitchell. Takes one on net softly, and Woolery shoved it back in to his glove.
And Engelbretson getting tangled up behind the net, losing an edge. Luckily for CMU, that's not going to draw any penalties.
A name we said a lot tonight is Isaac Hop. He's been in and out with the second line, third line group of Beamish and Hop, or rather Bottles, and we've seen Andrew Siraki a time or two interplay, but Hop, although he doesn't score a lot, he's got kind of a relentless motor. I mean, he can go, get involved, and make a difference. And Porzanic winds up, skirt it wide over the net.
You can see the difference that he makes. He's got a couple of assists. He's got an assist in this game and a couple of assists already on this season.
Campbell score! Turned it wide himself from the point inside. And Nadu with screening in front of Pelopoulos gets back to a 2-goal advantage.
And we talked about early on in this broadcast, Evan, that Central Michigan needed to, for the advantage of Kyle Robertson, get traffic in front of the net. But when you get traffic in front of the net, other guys can take advantage of that too. Owen Campbell lets a shot go, and Pavlopoulos doesn't see it until it's behind him. It's a great shot through traffic, and a good goal for CMU.
Junior of Jackson, Michigan, his team leading 9th goal of the season. Has an assist tonight as well on the first goal by Porzanic. Great stuff by him.
And a good save there by Woolery. It was screened in front by Nathan Gustafson. He might have gotten a tip on it, but Woolery stands tall at the top of his crease. He's able to cut off that angle, fill as much as the net as he can, and he makes a good save to bring a halt to play.
Face-off draw tied up at the half wall. Central back to a 2-goal advantage. Just over halfway gone in this third period. Here's a clap ball from Schwartz out of the air. And Gustafson had the angle, but he couldn't glove it down in time to take the shot. And a stoppage of play for a high stick.
So the face-off's going to come out to neutral ice, but Caleb Woolery has been making a couple of good saves in net. Lots of good opportunities for Illinois State, but credit to the young netminder. As we've seen all year, he's getting out to the top of his crease. He's challenging those shots and making Illinois State make some good shots.
Capuano out of the draw, lost it. Robertson sailed it high. And that one was gloved by Pelopoulos, who wants to make him do the draw again. And an eye glance, the face-offs were at first being dominated by the Chippewas, and now it's, I'd say, a 50-50.
Yeah, it's certainly been...
It's kind of...
It's sort of been the story of all season is how Central Michigan has struggled throughout the game on face-offs.
Robertson with a tip in front. It's loose at the side of the net, and Julian Johnson couldn't bring it home. Out of the air, into the rafters from Siraki. So Porzanic. Porzanic with the assist on Campbell's goal. Michael Rosenkrantz doing a great job in the PA stand. Robertson from the point. Skirts it down low to Beamish. Wanted to get in front, cut off by Gannon. Now it'll be taken back, and Bottles ripped it. And Pavlopoulos is down. Oh my, he got caught in an awkward spot, Reagan. Where former goalie, where would he get hit there?
Probably up in the collarbone, and that's a tough look. Hope he's okay. It was seemingly a harmless shot and generated off of some great forecheck by Nathan Bottles, but Pavlopoulos still down. Most goaltenders you'll see wear that plastic dangler around the neck area. Pavlopoulos doesn't, neither does Caleb Woolery, but that's the reason you wear that as a netminder, is to protect yourself from that. But good to see him get back up, back into the net.
He took a stinger. Bottles ripped that one from the bottom of the circle, and it had a lot of mustard on it. But Pavlopoulos, tough customer, Dion of Oak Brook, Illinois. 5'10" netminder comes to his feet. And the draw, won by his team. Intercepted by Hop to the net! And he had to be savvy with that one. Finds it under his wickets. Hop looking for his first as the Chippewa.
Oh, and he was ever so close to that. Great read by him to glove that down in the slot, knock that clearing attempt down. He was right down Broadway, but he couldn't slip it past Pavlopoulos, who rebounds from that potential injury with a good save.
Second try by Bottle, sailed high. Beamish can't hold the line. Out of dodge is the Redbirds for now. And Nathan with speed urges it forward to Robertson. Central trying to structure their play ahead. Bottles against the 2-on-1. Sidesteps Prazak. Now he'll get it ahead for Hop with some room to speed after it. Finishing the check is Oblikovic. Once, twice, Camaro winds up well wide. Looking for Beamish on that side. He finishes it to Katalinic. They'll kiss in the slot. Beamish rips it. Bounced out to Camaro. Second try, and it's redirected. Off the glove of Pavlopoulos, and behind the net. Shaken up is Christensen.
Beamish has been all over the ice tonight, including here. He pulls it free.
Now in front, Nadu with room to work, and he fanned on the shot attempt. He'll slide it back. Robertson winds up, score! Robo time! He's been trying all night long from the point, and he gets it. Kyle Robertson, 4-1 CMU.
I'll tell you what, that might have taken a deflection in front. It bounced through a couple of people, but apparently, according to the Congress of Chippewas on the ice, Robertson was the one who was last Chippewa to touch that, as it might have hit a Redbird out in front. But again, we've seen him all night load up from the high slot and from the point, and eventually you knew it was going to pay off as that one bounces through traffic. And this is a 4-1 game.
The senior veteran defenseman of Division II for a long time. His 5th goal of the year and his 19th game at a clutch time puts a stranglehold on this one. 3-goal advantage for the Chippewas as Bowerson circles his own end. Played out by Trebsweather. He'll spring it along for Owen Campbell, who chases after it. And now with this advantage, Central can flex their muscles a bit. Owen Campbell, as danily as he always does, skates wide through it. And they're going to give the goal to Beamish. So Beamish was credited with the tip in front. Robertson with a great assist on that one, his 9th of the year. That'll give Beamish his 2nd goal on the year. The senior out of Burnbury, British Canada, and Pavlopoulos is under duress.
It's actually his 3rd of the year, Devin, his 2nd of the game.
Oh, you're right. Wow, look at me.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I looked at the wrong number. I'll be honest. Even as many games as I've done here, on goal scorer.
Everybody
yes,
makes mistakes.
we do make mistakes. Yeah, that's right. Comment section. You better not let me hear it. Chris C, keep notes. Just kidding. We love our Chippewa fans. Thank you for listening, and everybody, for the final 8:35 of this one. It's been a fun game so far. Central Michigan flexing their muscles to the net. Chase Johnson, what a move, and he can't finish on it. Bowerson winds up, and he turned it wide. Bouncer to Pavlopoulos. And 3 times where wacky bounces somehow get to this goalie who, tough as nails, gets up and whistles it.
Yeah, Pavlopoulos has been very good tonight despite allowing those 4 goals. That one, he denies Jace Johnson with his toenail, stretching out that left pad and keeping it strong on the ice and not allowing the momentum to continue past his pad and into the net.
Camaro from the point. Settled down by Julian Johnson. Armentrout to wide with it. He's hemmed on the shoulder by Capuano. Under the stick of Camaro. Springs a race for it. Getting inside is Rosan. Takes down Woolery. Back to his feet now. And the sprawling Armentrout got the break. 2-on-1 develops. Julian Johnson. Oh, he can't handle it. Gets help with his numbers. Camaro with a lane to shoot. Tipped. It's loose from Miller. At the side of the net, it skirts behind the goal. Still floating it around. It's Armentrout and Miller trying to work it free. Getting in there is Gambrill. And he'll get turned away.
Yeah, that's another strong play by Pavlopoulos to keep his pads down on the ice.
Rather, that was Christensen. Gambro, the scratch tonight for Illinois State. Another try. Julian Johnson calling to get off the ice. Connor Beamish in front for Hop! And Pavlopoulos, one of his best, will glove it.
This third line for Central Michigan, Connor Beamish, Nathan Bottles, and Isaac Hop have had themselves a pretty darn good night. And you can see Beamish, he's already got 2 tallies tonight, trying to get Isaac Hop his second point of the night and his first ACHA goal. Hop is right out in front. It's, again, another quality save from Pavlopoulos to deny the freshman.
Pavlopoulos is working on 30-plus saves tonight. Woolery in a dangerous area with pressure coming. Springs ahead the breakout. Central Michigan, Nathan Bottles to the net. Loose off the goalpost. Connor Beamish almost had the hat trick.
He was an inch away, unable to get a strong stick on that.
And the other way, it allows an attack to the net. Woolery sticked away. It still bounces around the slot. That one came from Engelbretson. And now the opposite 12, Beamish saucers it ahead for Hop, who's out of danger. 6:37 to go in this game. Central has taken control, a 4-1 advantage, and if it's not for Dion Pavlopoulos, this is a much bigger game, much bigger score. Looking to go back-to-back wins. Owen Campbell, great pass. In front, backdoor, score! Tic-tac-toe, Campbell and Porzanic connect on their third goal of the night. 5-1, Chippewas.
Those two have been hot, to say the least, tonight. Porzanic, good to see him get back in the scoring column tonight. And again, it's a good finish on a great pass. He's able to slam it home from a sharp angle. Nothing much Pavlopoulos can do on that, with Campbell feeding a great pass over, making Pavlopoulos move, and Porzanic able to pick the corner.
Third point of the night for the junior out of Jackson, Owen Campbell. Second goal for Andrew Porzanic. Porzanic, 6th of the year, comes with almost 6 minutes left in this game. They've taken control of it. That was a beautiful one. And it springs along, a momentum shifter. Backbreaker, Illinois State, credit to them. They've hung tough this entire game. A very, much more physical team than we expected. We talked about earlier in this one the mismatch of size and speed for CMU, but this young Redbird team has come to play. As a turnaround shot by Beamish is turned wide. First to it is Lucas Hutton, keeping his foot on the gas. One time by Engelbrecht out of the zone. Schultz catches up to it first. All alone. Sidesteps one man. Goes hard to the net. Shot. That one turned wide. Jace Johnson. The young guys tic-tac-toe with the turnaround. It's loose for Beamish. Rather Morgan. He got it. Hutton and Johnson set that up. And all Morgan had to do was slam it home with the back of his stick. 6-1.
That's a great play by Connor Morgan. Able to get his stick on it. And it's another sharp angle goal, but again, it's tenacity by Central Michigan. They're able to get to those rebounds. They're able to work through the pressure applied by Illinois State. And Pavlopoulos, he's played well tonight, but sometimes the bounces just don't go your way, and Central Michigan has capitalized on those opportunities. And for the first time in quite some time, actually for the first time since November 19th, they've scored more than 3 or more than 2 goals in a game.
You're talking about that Adrian series,
Yep.
right? Yeah. And for Connor Morgan of Waterford, the product of St. Mary's, Orchard Lake St. Mary's, his 6th of the year. Lucas Hutton gets his 2nd assist of the night, 4th on the year. And Jace Johnson, back-to-back weekends, points for him. 2 assists on the year through 7 games. Timeout was called by Illinois State's Michael Hernbrot.
And rightfully so. That's for Central Michigan. That's 3 goals in 3 minutes and 20 seconds. 4 minutes and 20 seconds, actually. So CMU has scored a lot in this third period, and I think they finally figured out Pavlopoulos. And I think you and I were talking about fatigue earlier, Devin, and I really think the momentum and the fatigue has started to go Central Michigan's way.
Yeah, I mean, you can clearly see that with pretty much the last 7 minutes, just the relentless pressure to get multiple chances. It was tough for them early on to break that through. And Illinois State answered back a lot. This Redbird team, although they're down by 5 goals in this one, the score is really not indicative of their effort tonight. They hung tough. 1-goal game for most of this contest, and at the end here, Central was able to pull away 4 goals in the third period. Final 5 minutes of this one. Reminder, fans will be back tomorrow night, tomorrow morning, afternoon. Noontime, Braden Cleese will have the call for you. His first play-by-play back in over a month and a half. We'll see how rusty he is. I'll be on the color for that. Get to hear me quit yapping as much for a couple more hours. Remember, tomorrow the women's team takes on Ohio State in the first of 2 from Martin. Ohio State, number 5 out of the Southwest region, I believe. And CMU, number 2 in the Central. Sioux College is number 1 currently, still undefeated. But a big test for both those teams. CMU coming off a loss to first-year Aurora, who's been a surprise matchup for a lot of teams. Took Lawrence Tech to a close contest earlier this year. Notably, Lawrence Tech has been a really surprise team themselves, number 3 in the Central region.
Yeah, and both of those teams have played Central Michigan really well, but the thing about Central Michigan this year on the women's side is they have been able to rebound very well throughout the year. And they'll have a tough test tomorrow with a very good Ohio State team coming in.
Here's Julian Johnson. Dropped the trailer for Miller, who winds up. And Pavlopoulos, confident glove save that time. But the CMU women's team last year at the end of the year, nothing take away from them. First time ever going to nationals. First time really competing in their CCWHA conference. But they had a tough time down the stretch. They lost the majority of their games heading to the nationals. They were banged up from injuries. You have to wonder if last year weighs on the minds of players like Mac Barnett and the leadership core that wants to reverse that and absolutely doesn't want to have another meltdown like they had at nationals.
And I think they've got a good chance at that. They'll end the year with Ohio State, and then they'll take on Adrian, who will be certainly a tough contest. As now we've got a penalty coming up.
It'll be on Julian Johnson. So Jules will go to the box. 2 minutes. Illinois State is 0 for 4 on the power play. And you know something? CMU scored 6 goals, even strength. They have not seen a power play this entire game. A little indicative of the two sides today and their aggressiveness, the chippiness of it. 3:43 to go, though. Jules will sit in the box. But it's not without Connor Beamish in hot pursuit. Worked over Garcia to the puck, who falls down. Tried to hold the line. Handled by Roshan. Skirted ahead for the captain, Capuano. Cross to his partner, Garcia. Reverses field, Rosan again. Up left wing. Play it up the wall. Woolery in behind the net. Fluttering along the boards. Capuano gets it back to Ian Gannon at the point. He'll cycle low to high. Now Gannon will wind up. Trying to redirect that one in front was Capuano. And Borzanic was all in his face. 1 minute to go in this 5th power play of the night for Illinois State. Gannon from behind his own net. Up right wing. Outpaces Borzanic. He'll turn wide with it. Robertson cuts off the scoring chance of the poke check. And Borzanic saucers it down for an easy clear.
That's great teamwork on the penalty kill there by Robertson and Borzanic. Robertson is able to poke that puck away, and Borzanic able to clear it. It's been textbook to what Central Michigan has done all night on this penalty kill, not really allowing Illinois State many opportunities.
Catalinich springed ahead for Santangelo. The only goal scorer tonight, Santangelo, for Illinois State. Had his 3rd of the season in that second period, halfway through. Sort of a wonky bounce turnaround shot by first his teammate Mario Garcia. And then it fluttered in front of Woolery, couldn't get his hand up in front of it, and that is Connor Morgan finishing the check on him. Brendan Schultz out of the zone. Takes his own kind of hit from Christensen. Out of the box comes Julian Johnson. 0 for 5 tonight. CMU looking for the turnover. Schultz! Oh, Pavlopoulos. One more dandy. Stick taps for him.
That's a solid save there from Pavlopoulos. Schultz forces the turnover in the offensive end. Opportunistic as ever. Works in from the slot and looks to go glove side on Pavlopoulos, but he makes a dandy of a glove save. Here are the waning moments.
Game. Hey, Reagan, Schultz, we said his name a lot, but haven't get him credit where credit's due. He's caused a bunch of turnovers tonight. The senior of Grand Rapids, a very savvy forward, and he struggled earlier in the year with some turnovers, but as of late, as Woolery will glove that off the ice, as of late, I think he's been one of the bigger bright spots and the reasons why CMU's going to go back-to-back wins.
Yeah, Central Michigan has played a very solid consecutive nights of hockey, though it's not back-to-back. They've been able to keep the momentum going week on week, and coming from a team that you weren't expected to beat, number 12, Oakland.
It's still loose in front. Sorry, Reagan. That one clanged off the iron. That was Engelbretson in front trying to put it home to finish your point.
Yeah, it's good to see CMU be able to keep this momentum going, and you saw it last time they came off a big win like this against Adrian. They ran into a tough team in Florida Gulf Coast. So you got to wonder how they're going to be able to turn this around tomorrow and into next week against playing Northwood, a team that has struggled this season, but they've been shown that they can play tough with some teams. You're going to have to keep that momentum going in order to have any chance against the defending national champions in Michigan to close out the season.
And CMU has broken a lot of trends tonight. First time since November, midway through November, they've scored 6 goals in a game, more than 5. Hell, more than 2. And then, this tonight, perfect on the penalty kill, 5 for 5. This will be, if they can hold on for 33 seconds without saying something to an official, it'll be the first time in 6 straight games that they have not a lot of power play goal. And I think those are trendsetters that this head coach, Brendan Martin, wants to see in the continued growth of this team. Still a lot to play for. They've got, including this, 3 weekends left until the regular season is over and the MCHC tournament. Central's on the outside looking at the rankings. Officially 35th in the nation. It would take a miracle to get in the top 16, but you have to like the effort that they've sprung together tonight, especially in the third period with 4 goals. And an icing one more time just to delay us here longer.
And to go further on your point, Devin, about the penalty kill, this will be the first time since that November 19th win against Adrian that Central Michigan has not allowed a power play goal for the other team. They've only done it 3 times since October. So from the start of November on, it's been a tough outing for the penalty kill, but they've still maintained a pretty good percentage of 75 on the season.
A pretty good effort. One last shot on Pavlopoulos to glove it down with 2.5 left. They'll drop the sticks one more time. So in the first ever meeting, you never know how it's going to go. You have assumptions. You think, a team with a losing record comes into a team with a losing record. And Illinois State gave one whale of a show. But on this night, CMU establishes themselves and takes control of this. They win big over the Redbirds 6-1. Back-to-back victories. Caleb Woolery saves 20-plus shots tonight. The only one scored by the Redbirds from San Santangelo halfway through the second. But goals tonight by Andrew Porzanik with 2, Connor Beamish with a pair, and Owen Campbell and Connor Morgan to finish things off. Post-game show coming up next to give you our 3 stars and get you ready for tomorrow afternoon's rubber match between these two. Central wins it 6-1 here on home ice. You're listening live on CCHN. Welcome back to Martin Ice Arena for the postgame show. Devin Serra, Reagan Cleaves. An excellent night as the Chippewas down the Redbirds in their first ever official meeting, 6-1, with 2 goals for Andrew Porzonik and Cameron Beamish, helped out with Morgan and Campbell. Chippewas really had a tough game, start to finish, back and forth between the squads. Physical, chippy, a lot of whistles called on Chippewas, but they end up staying perfect on the penalty kill for the first time in 7 games. And ultimately pull ahead down the stretch. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, and this has been, like, for Central Michigan, usually when you get down to the penalty kill, you get a lot of whistles called against you. In the past, it's been your tempers have gotten the best of you, and you continue to make it worse. But tonight, credit to them, they were able to keep it under control and had a 1 penalty in the entirety of the third period. That allowed them to gain that momentum back and perform at the level they should and come out with the big win.
It was mark for Caleb Woolery, back-to-back wins for him, saving 28 on 29 shots. Let's take you through this one briefly. Andrew Porzonik got it started at 11:49 of the first by Owen Campbell. A great job by him to free the puck up on a stretch pass by Lucas Hutton. Porzonik moved into the blue paint, roofed it over the shoulder of Pavlopoulos, and went top-down cheese in the backhand to him. It was followed up a period later by Connor Beamish, who scored it on a breakaway. Chippewas looked like on a 2-0 game that they were going to take control of the reins, but Illinois State crawled back into this one just briefly. They had a wonderful tip shot goal in front from number 20. That was Sam Tangelo scoring his 3rd of the year. And Illinois State got back in the game with that goal.
Yeah, and they certainly did. And it was a bit of a fluky goal, too. The shot came from Garcia at the top of the right circle. And Woolery, that's a shot he usually has, but it goes off of the top of his glove, flutters up and over top of him, it lands in the blue plate, and Santangelo is able to whack it home. So for Woolery, it's a goal you want back, but you were able to recover and keep playing well the rest of the game. It's a blip in the radar at this point, a 6-1 win. You're going to go home happy.
Yeah, things got chippy. The final 5 minutes were spent with 2 coincidental penalties, 2 Chippewa penalties. It carried over to the third, but they would stay perfect, and this is where things started to ramp up. Owen Campbell scores his 9th goal of the season, team leading, followed up 3 minutes later by Beamish for his 2nd. Then Porzonik finished off on a tic-tac-toe play, another 5, and finally Connor Morgan gets his 6th goal of the year. 4 goals in the third period. It's the first time since mid-November CMB has scored 6 goals in a game. And for all the miscues and the woes of not scoring goals, tonight was an impactful game in that regard. Let's take you through some out-of-town scoreboards just briefly here that we received word from. Hope College, number 5, takes down number 1 Grand Valley State in overtime. Hope on home ice tonight from Griff's Ice House. It was a 0-0 game, but Hope College is back. Grand Valley's been number 1 in the nation for the first 5 straight weeks, but that might change with this result.
I doubt it's going to change depending on what tomorrow brings. That series turns around, goes to Georgetown tomorrow night. That Hope has a very great atmosphere for their hockey. They bring a lot of fans out, especially against a rival like Grand Valley. With Grand Valley State, on the other hand, their home atmosphere is a little bit more dull. We'll see how that affects the game and see if Grand Valley can come out with a win and defend their number 1 spot.
Is that a shot on GVSU for the atmosphere we saw there?
Possibly.
It's a tough barn. It's a lot of sound, and boy, that Wi-Fi is terrible, isn't it? We had a tough time out there with it. Some other scores to update you on. SVSU was last up 3-0 against Northwood. U of M Flint is at Michigan tonight, number 13. And finally, Arkansas, number 10, visits number 17, Missouri State. Just about halfway through that game in the second period. Not sure of a score of that. You can go to achhockey.org underneath the Men's Division III tab to find the score on that one. Let's get to your impact players to watch recap. For CMU, it was Jace Johnson and Kyle Robertson. How'd they do?
Yeah, Jace Johnson didn't get his name on the score sheet tonight other than the penalty column, but he did a really good job generating chances, which is something that Central Michigan has been doing, which is something he has been doing quite well in the last couple of series.
Yeah, I think so too. And, Robertson was all over tonight. Penalty kill. Oh, my God. His last 2 games, I've really seen him grow as a player. I think fundamentally, like both ends of the ice, and he got rewarded on that assist. It should have been his goal, let's be honest. Beamish was just right place, right time, but he had a great clap bomb from the top of the point and got rewarded for it. So on SVSU, the other side of things, Cardinals, who else did it for the Redbirds?
Yeah, the Redbirds tonight, they none of our players to watch got it. I believe it was Capuano and Janicki. But neither of them got on the score sheet, but Santangelo was a player that we had on our radar, but not necessarily in our top two. He played well. He gets their only goal tonight.
Yeah, and like you said there, Santangelo was the main benefactor of that. Your keys to the game, one of the things you said was CMU had to score early, and they had to be relentless. That penalty kill had to be important. It's perfect. So give us your rebuttal on it.
Yeah, so first thing was score early and score often. They did that. Andrew Porzonik gets the first goal, and for Central Michigan, that's their 7th win on the season when they have scored first. So they're back on the winning train, scoring those first goals. They hit a little bit of a bump toward the middle of the season, but they're back on their winning ways. The penalty kill was great. They didn't have any opportunities on the power play, but they did a really good job of locking down on that penalty kill, clearing pucks when needed to, blocking shots when needed to. And overall, it's a fantastic penalty kill. The first time they've been perfect since November 19th against Adrian.
We always joke here that officials at Martin Ice Arena can overstep sometimes. Maybe they don't like a lot of the chatter that goes on, right? But I can't remember the last time CMU has had 0 penalties or 0 power plays and come out with a victory like this.
Yeah,
I mean, it was weird. It was a weird game. That second, they let them play the first, and then things got chippy, and they just started to pull things back in. I mean,
then the third period, they let things go.
How frustrating is that as a player when you kind of get that inconsistency?
I mean, it certainly is frustrating, but Central Michigan, credit to them, did a great job of playing through that adversity. They didn't let the penalties come back to bite them, and they were able to come out, take a little bit of a deep breath in the second intermission, and come out and score 4 goals in the third to seal up your victory.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get to your 3 stars of the game presented by Optimex Sports. Your third star tonight, Owen Campbell, a goal and 2 assists. Assess him.
Yeah, he played really well tonight, moved the puck around really well. That top line for Central Michigan, along with Campbell and Andrew Porzonik, who we'll get to a little bit later, both of them played really well. They were able to spread the puck well, and especially Campbell quarterbacking that attack.
Andrew Porzonik had himself 2 goals in this game. He really came to life in a year where he has really been down in what his expected production is. It's good to see him get on the board a couple times.
Yeah, and especially in the fashion that he did. A couple of really nice goals. The first one finishing on a nice deke to roof it over the top of Pavlopoulos. And the second one, again, a great play where he's on the back door, gets the pass from Campbell, slams it home on a one-timer. Again, 2 quality goals from the top scorer from a year ago.
I went backwards. Connor Beamish was our second star with 2 goals, and Porzonik, your first one. So Campbell, Beamish, and Porzonik, your 3 stars tonight, although Robertson probably does deserve it. This whole team deserves a star tonight. A great 6-1 victory. Let's get your look ahead for things. Central gets right back into it 12 hours from now at noon o'clock. They'll take on this Illinois State team for the 3rd of 4 straight at home, followed up by the women's team. Micah Rosenkrantz behind us. Shout out Jacob Kosnick, former Chippewa, by the way, sitting behind us, giving a wave at us. And that women's team is playing Ohio State with a lot of momentum. They have not lost this year. Ohio State hasn't. 7-0. Not many games, but they're number 5 in their region. You need 10 games minimum to reach nationals. So how does CMU come off a loss against Aurora and get ready on the women's side?
Yeah, so this women's game tomorrow is going to be a tough test. Last year, it was right around this time, coming out of the second semester break, that they faltered and kind of went downhill. They were banged up down this stretch, and it ended up hurting them as they struggled in nationals, though they got to nationals. This year, the goal is to stay healthy and to keep up the momentum from the first half of the season and get back into the swing of things relatively comfortably. You split the series with Aurora. You got to come back home, get back on the right road with a tough matchup against Ohio State tomorrow night.
Yeah, certainly. And by the way, the men's Division II team is in action against Northern Michigan, both games at Northern, and then they'll play them back on home ice next weekend. So that'll just about do it for our updates. By the way, the Griffins beat Belleville tonight. Had to get that one in for you. The Spirit are in action against Kitchener tomorrow for the Shocks and Saves game hosted by the CMU College of Medicine. If you want to know that, tickets are $17. $5 of each proceed goes towards the nonprofit organization for them. Followed up by the Detroit Red Wings, who are in action against Vegas tomorrow at 7 p.m. on Bally Sports Detroit, as well as 91.7 The Ticket. That's just about going to do it for our coverage here tonight from Martin Ice Arena. We want to thank our entire production staff. What's that? You got something here? Come in here, buddy.
All I want to say is fire up Chips. Let's get a W this season, boys.
Gotta love it. Jacob Kosnick, former player. Still love the guy. Let's go wrap it up for our producer, Sam Chabasinski. Our cameraman tonight was Ian Drayton. Why are you looking at me like that?
It's Tabashinsky.
Damn. The side-eye from Sam. That was off camera. I wish we got that. The side-eye. Yeah.
I knew he was.
I messed up, Trevor.
I knew he was going to get you on it. So
Trevor Wires last week too. I messed up. So we got it good. But anyway, for as well as Michael Rosenkrantz running the PA stand tonight, running the stats up here. Thank you. He'll be on the call tomorrow with Derek Steele, so be on the lookout for that. Again, 7 p.m. puck drop for women's game against Ohio State. But that's going to do it for us. The final score of this one, 6-1 in favor of Central Michigan. And they'll be back tomorrow at noon to close out this series against Illinois State. For Reagan Cleaves, my name is Devin Sarah. Thank you for watching this presentation of Men's Division III Hockey on CCHN. Have a great night, everyone.